Hey, it's Kaero. Welcome back to the channel. This is part 9 of generating and rating artificial intelligence generated magic cards. We have done 8 other parts. There's a playlist in the description. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Let's go. Okay, return to dust. One plains, or one white mana, one generic for an instant. Target player skips their next draw step. I thought that was going to say skips their next turn for a second. I was going to be like, oh my god, that's so powerful. But skips their next draw step? I don't know. Seems very situational at best. So you play this on their upkeep before they draw, and then they don't get to draw a card. So I guess you could sideboard this in if people are playing a lot of like ponders or things that put things on top of their library. They scried and saw something that they liked, and you could prevent them from drawing that. Or if they played a tutor and put it on top, like Imperial Seal or something like that, that would be that would be really funny to do to somebody. They tutor, put something on their library, and then they pass your turn, goes back to them, and you're just like, skip your draw step. But I don't think it's good. I don't know, it's probably like a 3 out of 10. But if you do it to somebody, it's going to feel like a 10 out of 10. Flavor text is the soldier's fortification has not yet been destroyed. All right. Well, it's a 3 out of 10. Hilarious to do, though. Next up is Coatlian Looter. 1 blue, 2 generic for a 1/1 zombie creature. Tap, target creature gains flying until end of turn. And the flavor text is some pay in gold, others in cash. And gold comes at a price. That is true. There's a set price that people will pay for gold, but that seems ominous. I don't think you're talking about cash. Are you talking about, like, killing somebody for gold, you zombie? You nasty. What's the picture? It's a zombie that has no legs. It has like shredded pants and its legs are gone. And it seems to be flying on wings made of clouds, which I guess is flavor appropriate for this ability. That it taps the target creature gains flying till end of turn. I don't know. It's a 3 cost 1/1. It's not going to be fighting anything or doing any damage, and then it can enable and give something else flying. I don't think it's very good at all. But the image scares me. The legless, shredded pants flying on the mists of hell in the sky zombie. I'm going to rate it as a 2. Devoted effort. 1 blue, 2 generic for an instant. Draw 2 cards. So this is just divination. It's divination reprinted as devoted effort, and the flavor is elder-rependent, demands much study, Volrath. I thought it said Elspeth Resplendent at first. I've been playing too much standard. I don't know, is divination good? Divination's fine. In formats where divination is fine, devoted effort is fine. I guess you could, if you're playing commander, you can run divination and devoted effort now, so that's a plus. Um, I don't know, rating X out of 10 where divination is rated. Thundermaw Beetles. 1 green mana, 1 generic for an insect creature, 1/1. So a 2-drop 1/1. Okay, with Shroud. So this reminds me of some of the elves that we've seen throughout with Shroud. Pretty straightforward. What's the flavor? The one thing you can't have is a coward. That that reminds me of like some Western movie where like there's the grizzled old veteran who's seen some stuff, right? Who's always telling the main character, "The one thing I won't have is a coward," right? And so I just pictured a beetle with a cowboy hat on and a revolver, and for that reason, for whatever reason, my brain works that way. I like the card. I think it's probably like a 2 out of 3 out of 10, but the fact that it made me laugh bumps it up to a 9 out of 10. Boom, Thundermaw Beetles. Bloodlust Maneuver. 1 red, 2 generic for an instant. Buyback. Pay 3 life. Okay, so that means you pay 3 life in addition to its other cost when you cast it. And if you do, put the card back into your hand as it resolves. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. And the flavor text is Bloodlust has made a nasty enemy. Give it a beating. Okay, so Bloodlust is taking a beating? Like, that means Bloodlust is a person that's getting a beating? Talisman Ghoul. What do we think about this? 3 mana to give a creature +2/+0, and you can pay 3 life to get it back. I think it's overcosted. I think if it costs 1, that it would be pretty good, right? That would be incredibly good because you could cast it, buy it back, cast it, buy it back, cast it, buy it back, right? You could pay 3 mana to do it 3 times. The fact that it's 3 mana to give +2/+0 and buy it back, I think in certain decks they could take advantage of it, or maybe make the casting cost reduce it, maybe, or cast free instants or free spells. You could make something that's kind of broken with it, but for now I'm going to give it like a 4 or 5. If you disagree, let me know in the comments, or if you think of anything that could really bust this, let me know. Heliod, God of Lies. 2 blue, 2 generic. I love it already. It is a god creature. Okay, so not the Heliod that I remember, but let's see. Power 2, toughness 4 for 4. Okay, not bad. It has flash, and you may cast instant and sorcery spells as though they had flash. Instant spells already have flash. Am I taking crazy pills? Sorceries don't, right? That's potent. Makes all of your sorceries be able to be cast as if they had flash. I would prefer it to do like creatures too. That would be awesome. What's the flavor text? Do not let your faith go to your head. Be on your guard. I see many ways to kill. Okay. Heliod, God of Lies in blue, not black, and also I thought you were the god of the sun. Did you not? Did you lie about that? Were you ever god of the sun, Heliod? Come on, buddy. I don't know. Is it a 6 or a 7? I think the instant thing is redundant, but I can see flashing this in to block something and then having your sorceries be instants being pretty good. Maybe it's like a 6, 7, 8, 7, 7. We'll say 7. Asheox Champion. White card. 1 white, 2 generic for a human warrior. 2/2. Not bad power and toughness for 3. It has first strike. Okay. And it has heroic. When you cast a spell that targets Asheox Champion, put a +1/+1 counter on Asheox next action. When you cast a spell that targets it, it doesn't get a counter because it's not called Asheox. It's called Asheox Champion, meaning that I guess you put a +1/+1 counter on an Asheox Planeswalker, or not even then. And how do you put a counter on an action? My brain, I have 2 brain cells, guys. They are firing at red line capacity right now, trying to understand how this card works. What's the flavor? Maybe that'll help us out. The model in this way still has the intensity of her models. Doesn't help me. But as it stands right now, I'm going to say it's a 2/2 first strike for 3. And I'm going to give that a rating of 3. Tarzan Step. 1 blue, 2 generic for an instant. Untap all artifacts of another artifact or land you control, cost 1 less to cast the spell. Oh. What? Untap all artifacts of another artifact or land you control, cost 1 less to cast this spell. So when your lands have artifacts, you can untap them or land. Just do the Tarzan Step. Yep. Flavor text is: with time, the meek advance the procession to the elf Mishwek seem to take on a life of its own. I have to. This card is rated yes. Next up, we have Bright Climb. 1 plains, 2 generic for an instant. Kicker of 1 plains, 1 generic. Create 2/1/1 white kicker creature tokens with flying. Alright. So are these creatures that just kick to deal damage then? What's the flavor text? When you cast this spell, send it a tiny amount of lightning. So, guys, very important. This is serious. I'm dead serious right now. When you cast Bright Climb, the amount of lightning that you're gonna send, so tiny. Do not over lightning these kickers, because then things will happen that are not good. Uh, 3 mana, so 3 mana for 2/1/1 flyers, or 5 mana for 4/1/1 flyers. That's actually pretty decent, especially if you can have some anthem effects on the field that give all your creatures +1/+1, or if you're in a go wide strategy. And the fact that this is instant could really be cool in an aggressive deck. I think this card's like a 6 or 7, definitely a build around, right? But also, even having some chump blockers. I mean, they can block basically everything, right? Because they're flying. They can't block Menace by themselves, and obviously not unblockable. But this is a lot of utility here. I like this card. I think it's a 6 or 7. Blue Sun Zenith. 1 blue, 1 generic for an instant. All right, this is not the Blue Sun Zenith that I remember, but maybe it's like a reprint or an alter. Counter target creature. If that creature is blue, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Okay. The sun doesn't look blue to me. Surrounding it, it looks blue, but let's check out the flavor. The sun above Zendikar was made of pure gold, and as it reached the zenith, the hue of its rays became more and more blue. This flavor text just made a fool out of me. It was like, I know you're going to look at this and you're not going to think it's blue, but it's going to turn blue. That is the best flavor text out of any AI card that I have generated and read by far. It's not funny, it's just totally accurate. Like you would read that on an actual Magic card. That's incredible that the AI generated that. Cool. So what do we rate this? It's two. I mean, it's a counter spell, but only for so it's a essence scatter. But then if that creature's blue, put a +1/+1 counter on it, which you can't do if you countered it. So I don't know. It's like a 3 or a 2, wherever essence scatter could be used. We have our first colorless spell, our first artifact, Eldrazis Locket. 2 generic for an artifact. Tap, add 1 colorless mana. Okay. Tap, sacrifice Eldrazis Locket, draw a card. Okay, kind of spicy. I like it. Not sure that Emrakul had a locket, but maybe she has a lover that gave her a locket with a picture. Maybe it's Ulamog. That's very romantic and nice. I like that. Makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I like this. It's a 2 mana colorless mana rock that you can sacrifice later to draw a card. Seems good. What's the flavor text? A respite is offered to Ifrava's spies by the captains of the minions once she discovers the whereabouts of Miri and Ifrava. Okay, I don't know who they are, but they're offering respite to Ifrava's spies once she discovers where Ifrava is in Miri. Okay, I don't know. Seems like a cool flavor text. The card I think is probably a 6 or 7 out of 10. I think this would see play. I really like the ramp effect, and I really like being able to sacrifice it and draw a card later. I think it's great. Now, if the sacrifice had a cost, say it costs 1 or 2, I don't think it'd be nearly as good. But the fact that if you run out of answers, you can just be like, tap these, boom, sacrifice these lockets, draw a couple cards, 1 or 2 if you have them out. I think it's pretty good. Dark Matters. This is creepy art. 1 blue, 2 generic for an instant. Target creature spell. And create a 3/2 blue horror creature token. So I guess you have this in your hand and somebody plays a creature. They say, I tap 4 for this creature, and you say, Dark Matters. That is a creature that you played. I target it. And now I create a 3/2 blue horror creature token. But you can't play this unless there's a creature spell on the stack. So you can't even just generate this out of nowhere. You have to wait till somebody plays a creature spell. That's, I don't know. It's a 1. But like the art just appears to be a dark hallway, and I'm not sure if those are eyes or what those are. And the fact that I can't tell what it is creeps me out, and I love that. The flavor text, not the Rakdos Mythic Clinic's broodmother's last words. The so-called term of Ingenius's broodmother's prophecies are not yet dead. All right, cool. Prophecies aren't dead from the Ingenious' Broodmothers, Rakdos Mythic Clinic's Broodmothers. It's a 1. Thank you for checking out the video today. That was a great batch of cards. I love that. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up for me. Consider subscribing to the channel. There are 8 other ones of these that we've done previously, and we're gonna keep doing more. And there's arena gameplay on the channel and everything else. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day.